You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Andre Drummond calling himself a Hall of Famer. Plus, Pippen Ain't Easy got 3 Bulls targets that were trade targets we're going to talk about, and the ultimate tummy tuck. We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. Pat,
she was just like, oh, God.
It's Friday, y'all. Oh, with that said, Pat, Andre Drummond was on a podcast, man, and I will say this: I've never been so like in agreement with somebody when you talked about rebounding, and then it literally went off a cliff, bro. You got that clip ready for us, Pat?
I do. Hold on, let me throw this up here because this mug stream got a little different with how you share the clips here. Here we go.
Perspective, like I just said, I used to play 40+ minutes. I was the star, all-star, all-NBA. I've done it. Hall of Fame candidate. Best rebounder ever.
I've been seeing this little graphic going around talking about you being the total rebound percentage
ever.
Oh, you already know what I'm talking about.
I'm the best ever.
No doubt.
What do you mean?
Okay. Let me ask you this. Big man in the history of the game, where do you rank yourself? Where do you see yourself?
In terms of rebounding or as a big man?
All around, everything. Whatever you want.
I'm not gonna lie, there's some good ass bigs in the time. I think I've done great in my career. I think I have a chance to be a Hall of Fame player due to what I've done in my career. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm in the top 20 for being in the Hall of Fame. So I have a great chance.
Best rebounder
ever. Respect.
Okay, Patrick. So we got to talk about it. Andre Drummond, per percentage, is the best rebounder ever. That's just it. That's almost, you can't really argue that fact, right?
What's the who's now rebounding? You in the ad read in the beginning, right? What's the percentage based on?
The percentage is based on the rebounds that you're in position to get when you're on the court. So meaning if you're near the rim, basically, and a rebound is there, you get that percentage of rebounds. That's what rebounding percentage is. So it doesn't take in the account if you're out on the perimeter and there's a rebound. It counts in if you're near the rim when a shot comes off the rim. That's rebounding percentage.
This feels like a situation of I can get numbers to tell me anything I want to hear.
Now, wait a second, because you literally, before we started recording, says that
I'm still on that side of it, but I'm just saying the graphic of rebounding percentage threw me off, and I'm trying to find it in the video again so I can pause it, right? Like they threw that up in 30 seconds.
The exact definition of rebounding rate or percentage is a statistic to gauge how effective a player is at gaining possession of the ball after a missed field goal or free throw. Rebounding rate is an estimate of the percentage of missed shots a player rebounds while they're on the floor. So that's the difference between rebounding percentage and rebounding rate.
Here's my issue. Here's your 5, right? Here's the 5 that are on the list. Now, the whole other conversation we can have, but Andre Drummond, Dennis Rodman, Reggie Evans, DeAndre Jordan, Rudy Gobert. Everybody else was dead before them?
No.
Like there was a guy that averaged 50. You know what I mean? Like, how many rebounds Wilt have that season? Under like 28 a game, he was averaging or something like that. You telling me he wasn't in position for more than 24? They were 5-foot white guys out there. Anyway, let's keep it going.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that is.
I don't know where the stat begins, right? Like Jerry West's 3-point shot stat is different.
Yeah, it must begin at a certain point because there's no way Wilt. I'm looking at the top 50 right now. Is his name not on here at all?
If Wilt's name isn't on there, that tells me everything I need to know, right? Like the best ever. Bill Russell on there?
Bill Russell is on. No, I take that back. Bill Russell's not.
So
Yeah,
there's probably a certain part where it begins.
Yeah, they started doing that at a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Last 5 years. But,
now, with that said, we have Andre Drummond saying that he is a clear Hall of Famer. Top 20, he said, to get in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know what that means. What criteria? I don't know what the criteria is.
Towards the criteria.
But he said he met the criteria. No, here's what I'll say. Here's right, because I am making the argument that Andre Drummond does have a case for the Hall of Fame. One, his career's not over. Andre Drummond can still be a guy who goes out there and continues to rack up. I mean, with what he's doing at this point, like Andre Drummond is 29, he's 30 now.
30
he
now.
Finally hit 30.
Yeah.
If he plays 4 more years and continues to average between 8 to 10 rebounds, he's going to rack up quite a few more rebounds per game. So I don't know, right? He could end around the 11,000 mark, which would put him around top 20, 35, between 35 and 25 all time. If we're actually including this stat, it's tough to keep him out. Now, granted, right, whatever he succeeds on, whatever he wins on, that'll all play into that, right? If the Bulls manage to get an NBA championship while he's a part of this team, right, that'll all play into it and different things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about Andre Drummond as a Hall of Famer based on how they're grading things.
Rebounds. So we're saying that he's going to get in, but no individual accolades, no titles, not that many wins in his career. And we're saying that Andre Drummond is going to get in basically built off rebounds. I just want to be clear.
Listen, if you're saying that, and that's what that stat is saying, I didn't make the stat. I don't even like the stat. But that stat is saying that based on percentage, based on whatever year it starts at, he's the best ever. If you're the best ever at something, you get into the Hall of Fame.
Andre Drummond's right now 47th all-time rebounding.
He'll probably finish around top.
Not if he keeps playing for Billy Donovan. He better get out of here ASAP. Not if he keeps playing for Billy Donovan.
Hey, coach, I got 9 rebounds. I need 1 more to pass up Jack Sigma. Hey, you sitting on the bench the next 18 minutes of this game, bro. I don't know, bro. And here's the thing, right? It's not a situation where, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the Basketball Hall of Fame. I personally don't. I think
well, keep in mind too, it is basketball, not just NBA Hall of Fame. I don't think
agree.
He was he at UConn? Did he say 2 years at UConn?
Well, let me ask you this, right? Okay. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. Is Stephon Marbury gonna go into the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Stephon Marbury?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
It's the Basketball Hall of Fame, though.
I get it. Never.
Stephon Marbury is the greatest Chinese player.
I get it. Never.
Hey, right? But it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So based on the criteria, he should get in.
Being the best ever, that's your criteria. That's not necessarily a criteria that gets you in, bro.
That is how basketball gauges this, right? Like, that's how basketball. I believe he also has a gold medal on an American team. Maybe he was on the team that lost. He might have been on the team. I think he was on that team that lost. He might have been on the team that lost.
His accolades: 2-time NBA All-Star, 1-time All-NBA third team. He won the rebounding title 4 times. He was All-Rookie second team, the Rising Star Challenge MVP, and the Big East all-freshman team in 2012.
Rebounding titles.
He does have gold. He has gold medals in the FIBA World Cup too. In 2014. Yeah, that's it though. But that's not an Olympic. He has a FIBA gold, not an Olympic.
He was on the Derrick Rose team, wasn't he?
I don't remember. I'm not even gonna act like 2014.
I think he was on the Derrick Rose team.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, I listen. I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I look at the Basketball Hall of Fame and I'm like, it's a lot of bodies in there. That's cool that y'all got in, but it's some questions. I got some questions, right? You shouldn't be in because your team was successful. You shouldn't be in because your team. It should be based on what you did. Are you a Hall of Famer? Are you gonna get into the Hall of Fame because of your accolades? I can't say that Drummond don't have accolades. I mean, we talked about him as a decade for the best rebounder in the game.
But you keep going back to ones that's even the people that we question either have an individual accolade, not just a stat. Like, that's a stat. That's not an accolade. I mean, actual trophies for something. Drummond has none. And I'm not saying that I get the basis of what you're saying, but I just want to put it in perspective, right? Even almost the worst Hall of Famer that you can name probably has some gold somewhere outside of just Olympic gold.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I want everybody to mark this down. Whenever it happens, it's going to be the funniest thing in the world, but I guarantee you at some point somebody's going to bring up this conversation that's going to change people's perception on it. I hope to God I'm not the person that does it. I hope to God I'm not the person that does it. We're going to be sitting here one day talking about Stephon Marbury going into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Okay,
because
that still ain't got nothing to do with Andre Drummond.
It's based on everything that is that, but like we look at it like in our mind.
But I understand that, but yet we've not had somebody yet, to my knowledge, that, for example, is just a EuroLeague player that has made the Basketball Hall of Fame. That is where you start setting that precedent. If it gets to that point, then yes, the floodgates open. The floodgates open for somebody like Stephon Marbury. But like until that happens, I get what you're getting. And I'm not saying that eventually it's going to happen. Hopefully me and you do not live to see the day, because the rent that I will have,
right?
The rent that I will have if that happens. But I mean,
you also got that. But you also got to take into account, right? Steph was a 20+ point per game player for
Never mind. I take everything I back just said. Vlade Divac is in the NBA Hall of Fame. Drummond's probably
listen. And it's no disrespect. I agree based on the person and the entire world career. Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame. What did Yao do? Tell me something Yao did except be big. And he was good. He was really good. He was one of the best bigs at that time. But realistically, he never was healthy enough on the court for you to say
true.
He's
but
an NBA Hall of Famer.
If you look at his accolades versus like Drummond, 8-time NBA All-Star, 2 times All NBA second team, 3 times All NBA third team, All Rookie first team, CBA MVP. There he goes, the overseas, top scorer in the World Cup. But I mean, his accolades towers over Andre Drummond's.
But realistically, we talking about what, 2 years?
2 years of what?
Like of him being healthy enough for them accolades to mean something.
I mean, when you're an all-star, well, that's the thing, the China vote. So he was an 8-time all-star, 2003 through 2009.
He's an 8-time all-star with the China vote, with the Chinese vote backing him because it's a fan vote thing, right?
True. But even in that time, only 3 seasons, he played below 60 games in that, which is surprising. I didn't think that. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have guessed that either. Yao Ming has seasons of 82, 82, 80, then 57, 48, 55, and 77 games played. I did not think Yao Ming played that many.
No. Yao, right? That 08 season is with T-Mac. That team was ready to go, and they lost both of them before the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that collectively they had one healthy foot between them. One healthy foot between them.
All right, we got to add Reed to do. We didn't miss them by a mile. Jesus.
Next up, we're going to get into Pippen Ain't Easy has 3 Bulls trade targets.
Wait, hold on. So you don't think, let's say this. You don't think he's in the Hall of Fame? I feel like we didn't answer the question. You don't
Andre
think he's
Drummond?
in the Hall of Fame? Yeah.
8th ballot Hall of Famer at the middle.
Still a Hall of Famer, dog.
I mean,
That's a Hall of Famer. I don't like it either.
I if I had to say, if that's a straight answer, yes or no, Andre Drummond to me is not a Hall of Famer. But all it takes is one bad class, and somebody's going to sneak in there, and it's going to be like, what are we doing?
He had doubles and played for the Bulls. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I kind of remember that.
But get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Where did Pat go?
I don't know what happened.
All right. Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Bro, what's happening with the stream right now? Is the background going or am I tweaking?
Somebody wants to click on something else. All right, Pat. With that being said, we're off the rails
right now. It's the Drummond conversation.
See, you talk about Andre Drummond as a Hall of Famer, things start going wonky. Even the internet's is like, hey man, what are we talking about here? What are we doing? What are we really doing here?
What are you doing?
But Pippen Ain't Easy has 3 interesting Bulls trade targets for the season. Keep in mind, for those that are asking why, the Bulls do have biannual exception, disabled player exception of $10.2 million. The 3 targets that they brought up that would make sense for the Chicago Bulls, to them, Mike Conley, Tyus Jones, Doug McDermott. Now, had we not acquired Javon Carter, I can understand the point guard targets a little bit more. Not to say that they aren't potentially an upgrade over Javon Carter, but what do you think about those trade targets, Pat?
Give me McBuckets back.
With the way that the team currently is, right? And that's because we already have Javon. You know, I'm a Tyus Jones guy. I love Tyus Jones. I want to see him next to Zach LaVine. But Doug McDermott would fill such a need and void on this team.
Now, here's the real question. Why would the Spurs get rid of Doug McDermott at this point when literally it's like, hey, we got our rookie. We kind of want to start winning. We're going to need some three-point shooting. But I would love to have McDermott back even after his down season last season, right? I mean, only shot at 41%. I still think that he's a guy that can come in and be an asset for you. He was a guy who has been a little bit up and down, but I'm sorry, only shot at 45% from the field, still 41% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's an elite 3-point shooter now. And guess what the Bulls need? Size and 3-point shooting.
Now, to answer your question,
nothing else
on why they would trade Dougie McBuckets.
Yeah,
keep in mind, at the 3 ahead of him, they have Keldon Johnson, Reggie Bullock. At the 4, Jeremy Sohan, Seti Osman ahead of him. Yeah, they could potentially get rid of Doug McDermott.
I could see it. I'm not gonna lie to you though, man. It would be such a interesting comeback for him, especially. I mean, I don't know, man. Even when we traded him, I got to the point. Even when we traded him, I was like, "Hey, the 3-point percentage is going the right direction. Like, should we get rid of this guy? Like, he turned into what we wanted him to be. Now, granted, right, for as high as we took him, we thought that he was going to be more sooner, but he turned into what we wanted him to be. I think now he's a player that I would like to have on this team. You want to know the craziest part about all this? Doug McDermott's 31.
Dang, is he?
Wow. Still older than Andre Drummond. What's going on out here?
But
actually, he might be 32 heading into this year. Let me see.
Doug McDermott
will be 32 this season.
Do you want to know what his defensive rating was last season?
Was it god awful because the Spurs were god awful?
124.
You want to know what though? I would like to see that by year because I feel like when he was with Indiana and when he was with the Spurs early on, it was better.
Let's go over this. So his first season with the Chicago Bulls,
me I'm wrong.
107.9. Second year with the Chicago Bulls, 111.7.
It's getting worse.
Absolutely. After he was traded, that first year, 112. After that, 114. Got better in Indiana, 112 the first 2 years in Indiana, 117 the last year in Indiana, 117 the first year with the San Antonio Spurs, and 124 last season with the San Antonio Spurs.
He got a roll. He got a roll. Let's be honest, right? If I'm sitting here with a lineup on the floor that includes Javon Carter, Patrick Williams, Andre Drummond, let's say he actually gets some tick in this game, and I'm replacing that, and I'm adding in Kobe White and Doug McDermott. Are we upset about that? Doug can't play defense. At least we know Doug actually can't play defense, and it's not just like he's not trying. I'm not upset if you're coming off of my bench giving me that. Listen, I'm not telling you bring Doug McDermott here to start. But if he's coming off,
let's be clear. It's here to play a very particular role,
a very specific role. Like every NBA team in the NBA outside of the Chicago Bulls has a player to do. Every team in this league got a dude that is just like, what do he do? He shoot.
Here's the thing: while his 3-point percentage is solid at 41, he only is making 1.9 a game, and he's getting like 15 million. Are we paying $15 million for 2 3-pointers a game?
You know what, though? I think that you also have to take into account, this is one of the rare moments where there's a guy that actually perfectly fits Billy Donovan's scheme.
This is
one of the rare moments. What do we want Doug McDermott to do? Hey, can you stand in that corner and shoot threes? Yes, I can. You know what I mean? Like, I think that this is a moment for me with Doug where, one, he brings you the size, brings the length, and we'll be able to shoot.
Size and length is what you're looking for?
Hey, that's what I'm looking for on a basketball court. Yes, unfortunately, I'm no Mariah Mills, but on the basketball court, size and length is what I'm looking for. Like, I don't know how else do you say that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to say that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want from
Doug McDermott, $13.75 million a year.
Yeah. Because here's the thing.
2 3-pointers a game.
No, here's the thing. We have to change our mindset. How much of the cap is that?
That is 10% of the cap.
Yeah. For something where I think that legitimately, right? Of course, it's 2 3-pointers a game average wise. There's going to be games where he gets hot. There's going to be games where
there's going to be games where he gives us 0.
There's going to be games where he gives you nothing. 100%. He's a pure shooter. But guess what? That's what we had with guys like BJ Armstrong. That's what we had. We got like every NBA.
It's different
team.
when you have MJ next to him, bro. Like you put Doug McDermott out there with MJ, I'm all right. I'm not worried about it too much.
I don't know. MJ might punch Doug at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. At least a couple times, bro.
I just feel like when you have something of need and you have somebody that specifically can do that, I'm willing to invest more money into that. And we talk about 10% of the cap. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Here's my question to that. All jokes aside, and I understand your points, right? We're having fun with this conversation.
I mean, it's Doug McDermott that we asked him to come back. You can't do nothing but have fun.
But I think that it highlights though how much value we're getting out of somebody like Torrey Craig, who is making the same 2 3-pointers per game, but is also bringing you great point of attack defense.
But
we got that for the veteran minimum.
Here's my concern though with Torrey Craig, and I hope he does. Why do I believe it? He got hot. He got hot.
Well, that's why I always talk about Torrey Craig from the standpoint of his career. Like just last season, it's fool's gold, right? Until he does it again, it's fool's gold. But even for his career, Torrey Craig is a 34% 3-point shooter, taking 2.6 per game. That's not terrible. It's not Doug McDermott, but because of the brand of defense he also brings and a solid rebounder. Keep in mind that he's also giving you 4 to 5 rebounds per game.
Right.
That's what makes a little bit of difference there, right?
I can deal with that, but it's just to me, right? Like, yes, I get the defense, I get all of that for the price that I'm getting. But I still, the only guy, let's be 100% about this Bulls team here. The only guy we have right now who is a 100. Bro, what is happening with this thing?
You got to be pressing something. I'm blaming you. It's just when all else fails, you blame the lightest.
I'm doing the rest of the pod with my hands like this. That's a bad look. It's the only all black pod on the network. I can't have my hands up the whole show, bro. That's a bad look. I don't know if that's true or not. Actually, I don't know if we're the only all black pod on the network. It's got to be something in Atlanta, right? Don't worry about it. But the question for me is, right, your best all he does is shoot. Your best guy that like is 5'9", 5'10", maybe.
Who?
I thought we give him Javon Carter.
You giving him the best shooter on the team?
40% from 3 from.
I mean, Patrick Williams is that also.
Patrick Williams, yeah, I'll give you that. But you know what, P. Will, are you gonna shoot like you did in the second half when Pat Bev was like threatening to cut you? Like, is that like that's the real question? You know what I mean? You gonna shoot like you did in those last 22 games when Patrick Beverly was like, you know, shoot, I'm gonna call these dudes and you gonna disappear.
I mean, he was shooting solidly before that. Let's not act like he was just.
Yeah, but not as value, right? Like in the second half of the season, he was shooting what 4 3-pointers a game.
Let me take a look. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember off the top.
I think in the beginning of the season, he
was
around like
pre All-Star break. So that would have been before he was taking 3.5 and hitting it at a 40% clip.
That's good.
Post, he was taking actually less, 3.1 and hit it at a 46% clip.
Huh.
So,
yeah, okay. It's the same dude. Take more. If you hit it at a 40% clip, take more. That's really all it. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. 40% clip and you're taking 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that floater don't work.
Yeah.
You might
Let's
as
hope it
well
works
take
this
more
year.
3-pointers.
Let's hope it works this year.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. But let us know what you guys think as far as that. I know we didn't touch on the point guards a little bit too much, but listen, I don't see the Bulls trading for. If the Bulls trade for a point guard at the something's gone wrong. Something's gone badly wrong.
Yeah, Javon Carter sucks.
Yeah, that case, and then
And Kobe White sucks.
we're having a whole different conversation at that point. But we want to remind you guys that Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. Now, the Ultimate Tummy Tuck, that is a heck of a name for a title, but we got to talk about it, bro.
See,
So,
I thought this is not a topic on Zion Williamson.
not surprisingly not,
Yeah.
or on Pinky Doll, but you know it is what it is. The NPC chick.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew her. Never mind. That was a wild joke that was coming. That was a wild joke.
I hate that I know what you were gonna say.
Yo! Woo! All right, let's go.
Oh, that's a technical foul. You're tripping on that one, bro.
On an 8
Come
crazy
on
nights
out of there.
reference. Yep, brothers.
Oh man, with that said, we're just gonna go ahead and finish out the show without.
The 8 Crazy Nights reference might be the best thing of the night, bro.
Hey, I love that movie, bro.
I love that movie, bro.
Oh, man, anyway.
Wipe his eye with a wrong hand. Yes.
So unfortunately, there was a shooting at a White Sox game. What was that, like 2 weeks ago at this point?
There's so many jokes I want to throw out off of that.
And so we found out a couple of days ago that the woman smuggled the gun in, made it through the metal detectors because the gun was hitting under her fat rolls. If you don't use your body weight to roll on the ops, you have officially failed at life right now.
Bro, that's what I call a tummy tuck, bro. That's why we call this month the ultimate tummy tuck, bro. Like, you got that thing tucked up under there. And I have so many questions on this, right? Not normal questions either. My biggest question on this, I'm gonna be 110% with you. Like, was there a holster under there, or was the gut just holding it? Like, have you seen? See, I've made it to an interesting part of TikTok because of my wife, right? She's a lactation consultant, so I get a lot of like breastfeeding content and stuff like that. So there's a trend.
Sure, that's
mothers,
why you get it.
Hey, whatever you take. No, there's like a trend of mothers that like lift a titty and put like a bowl under there and hold it. Like, is the gun just being held by the belly fat against the? Is this FUPA territory? Can you say FUPA on a podcast? I don't know. Is this FUPA territory?
This, according to ESPN Chicago reporter,
shout out Peggy Kaczynski. She reported this.
Have you met her?
I did. That's who I did the post game show with.
That is hilarious. The gun was snuck into the stadium by one woman who was hit. The shooting was an accidental discharge by the woman whose injury was previously identified as a graze wound. She reportedly snuck the gun in past the metal detectors, hiding it in the folds of her belly fat. Kaczynski said in a post on it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
And the only reason I can laugh at this is because she shot herself. She grazed herself. If somebody else was injured in this, it'd be a different story.
Well, she did. Somebody else did get hit by the bullet, but it grazed them as well. So,
oh man,
here's my question for you, bro. As bad as it has gotten. By the way, Jerry spoke today on this issue, which is even why we're having this conversation. But and also the fact that he basically hired Chris Getz. Hey. I said this to Nick Morowski over on Locked On White Sox. He said, "Is this anything different?" I said, "This is as different as it gets." I'll see y'all later. But no, here's listen. What are we dubbing the movie of the White Sox season? Like, this is one of the wildest seasons
I can't say what I want to say
I've ever seen in my life. Like, is this like the good, the bad, and the belly? Like,
if y'all want to know what I would call this season, you got to hit me up on Twitter. I refuse to say it on this, but I will say the good, the bad, and the belly.
The good, the bad, and the belly.
That's not a bad one.
Or is it just Belly, right? Like Belly, a great movie, but like also a lot of guns. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even say Belly's a great movie. Belly had a great intro, and then the rest of the movie happened.
I mean, I like Belly, but
I like Belly too, but it ain't great. You know what I mean? That's like Space Jam great.
I mean, yeah, Space Jam is actually a trash movie, but you know,
but it's
that's a story
great
for another day. Yeah,
but
nostalgia.
It's great. But no, I mean, like, dog, like there's got to be a name for this, bro. Like the White Sox have had a fight where Tim Anderson got knocked out,
bro. Wait.
A
So this is how Shorty rolled into the.
Okay,
This is how she rolled into.
Hey, bro, I don't know if we can show that on here, bro. I don't know if we can show that on here, bro. Hey, yo, was he wearing bottoms, bro? Did you just expose us? YouTube definitely flagged that. He got bottoms on, bro. That's crazy.
We good. We in the clear, bro.
You can follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls.
Visibly disturbed. That's the greatest moment of my life.
You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer.
Oh man. Okay. Oh man, you guys can follow me at CEO Haize, CEO HAIZE, man. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls, man. We will catch you lovely and beautiful people next week. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. It's been Locked On Bulls, man. We out here. Peace out.
I want to come up with something witty to say here, but I'm so lost.
Oh, man. Seeing you visibly disturbed, bro, was the best moment of the week.
I'm still disturbed. Like, I don't even know.
Oh, man.
You know, when something's so wild, all of a sudden it feel weird to like move your face again. Like, that's how I feel right now.
Oh, Jesus. Man. That's hilarious, bro.